Live from the Monterey Windsor, we have the Late Facebook Live 39.6 Facebook Live podcast show, where we talk about how you can make your money work for you so you don't have to work for your money. Today, we talk about the 4% rule.
Hey, let's get moving. Come on, and sit around with me. I love dancing. I love dancing. Dance now.
Thank you, Pinky. All right, so welcome to another episode. Today we are going to do another demo day because yesterday was so much fun. We finished off yesterday with our 3 fun portfolio, had rice, rotini, and gummy bears. Today, we are going to talk about the 4% rule. If you are out there, if you are watching, please say hi, hello, do a wave. That would be fantastic, just so I know you're there. If somebody can confirm they can actually hear the audio, that would also be fantastic. This is actually try 2 because the first one didn't have audio. What's up, Tang? Thank you for coming over here. So today we are going to talk about the 4% rule. And this is a basic investment idea that as long as you have a nest egg of any amount, you can take 4% of that amount per year and you can live off of that, okay? And you can increase it for inflation every year. So if you started off with $1 million, 4% of $1 million is $40,000. And you could take 40,000 out the first year, and you could take 40,000 plus inflation the next year. So it could be like 41,000 the next year, 42,000 the following. Thank you very much for the audio confirmation. So that's the 4% rule, and that's a little bit confusing for people because a lot of people don't think about things in percentages. So I use what I call the 300x rule. Okay, so those of you guys who know Grant Cardone is the 10x rule. Everything just go 10x. You might not get to 10x, but you're going to go way farther, way faster if you try to go 10x. Okay, so 4% and the 300x rule are actually the same thing, looking at it in 2 different ways. Okay, so I'm going to leave this here. We are going to use this little beaker. Okay, and this little beaker here, this is going to represent how much money you spend in a given month. It's not a lot of money. It's just a little beaker. Okay, so we are going to fill this up, and we are going to give you, don't want it to spill. All right, so we got 5 milliliters here. So this 5 milliliters is going to represent $5,000. Okay, so a lot of households in this country live off of $5,000 a year. The average income is $60,000 approximately in the United States. So that's $5,000 a month. Okay, $5,000 a month is $60,000 a year. So if you need $5,000 a month to live off of, okay, and for you real estate people out there, you basically need to generate $5,000 of rental income. Okay. Or you could do a sub 2 wrap and generate money that way, okay? If we're using investments, stocks and bonds, traditional securities, you have to follow the 300x rule. All right, so you have to take 300 times this, and that's how much you need to have invested in order to sustain this amount per month. That's a lot of water. All right, so this is 5 milliliters times 300 is 750 here and 750 here, okay? So that's 1,500 cc's of water, okay? That's 300 times the 5 cc's or 5 milliliters. Okay, so this is how much you need to have in order to have this much per month. Okay, 300 times. That's a lot of times. Okay, a lot of people don't realize how much money they actually need. So if this is $5,000, okay, each of these bottles is $750,000. Okay, you need $1.5 million to support $5,000 a month in retirement. So if you know you need $5,000 a month in retirement and you want to use stocks and bonds, you need to get yourself up to $1.5 million. Okay, people think that $1 million is a lot of money. Well, $1 million is not even going to give you $5,000 a month, which is an average middle-class lifestyle. Okay, now, a lot of people don't even think that the 4% rule is even considered safe. Okay, but we'll get to that in one moment. Let's pretend you wanted to have a little bit more than $5,000 per month. You wanted to have a more comfortable lifestyle. Okay, so this is a bigger beaker with 10 cc's, 10 milliliters in it. You're going to have $10,000 a month. This is a very comfortable lifestyle. Okay, this is $120,000 of income for a family, basically like after tax. Okay, so $10,000 a month is a lot of money. Now the 300x rule would say you need to multiply 10 times 300. So you need 3,000 cc's or milliliters of water. Okay, I'm actually out of Pellegrino bottles, so we had to go for the good stuff. So went to this auction and got a very nice prize to go to a winery, the Sodaro winery in Napa. Very enjoyable experience. This is signed by Sodaro himself. He gave us a Magnum bottle. Okay, so this Magnum bottle is 1.5 liters of Primo Estate Blend 2012. Okay, now all of these combined is 3 liters, 3,000 milliliters. This is how much you need to have this much per month. Okay, this 3,000 milliliters is $3 million. Okay, so if you want to live off of $10,000 a month, you need $3 million. Oh, we have more Pellegrino in the cabinet, says Kate. Well, I didn't see that in the cabinet. It must have been blocked off by gummy bears or Rotini. Yes, the bottle is sexy, says Tang. I agree. This Magnum bottle has been saved for quite a long time for the right purpose, and now it's getting some utilization. All right. So this is, a lot of glasses of wine all at once. Okay, so that is what you need if you want $10,000 a month at the 4% rule, which is considered usually safe, but not necessarily always. Okay, so we're going to go back to this $5,000 a month and 1.5 liters. If you want to have it safer, okay, you have to use the 3% rule. Okay, so the 3% rule means you can live off of 3% of your assets per year. Okay, and so it actually, I just wanted to type this up. Whoop, I just spilled my water. This is going to be called the 400x rule. All right, so if you want to have a very, very, very safe retirement at $5,000 a month, you not only need your $1.5 million, okay, but you're going to need another $500,000 on top of that. So you're going to take 5,000 times 400. You're going to need $2 million. Now this is Buddha juice. It's raw, organic. It's real. And this is like $10 a bottle or something. I mean, you go there, it's often empty, but when they charge $10 a bottle, it's not surprising they stay in business. Okay, so we reuse the bottles to make the money worth it. So 2 liters gets you your $5,000 safely. Okay, so that's the 3% rule. You need to have $2 million to live off of $5,000 a month. Or if you want to live a fatter lifestyle, $10,000 a month, you need to have all of this wine, 1.5 liters, the 2 Pellegrino bottles, and then you need another Buddha juice. Okay, so we have 1.5, we have 3, we have 4 liters here, $4 million. Okay, $4 million to live off of a $10,000 a month lifestyle. That's a lot of money. Okay, now, that's if you're using stocks and bonds. if you're using real estate and you are using cash flowing real estate and it generates for you 8% cash flow per year, you don't need to have a 4% rule or 300x rule. Okay, with real estate, I'm going to hide that. I'm going to say real estate is the 8% or the 150x rule. Okay, and so what that means that if you have regular rental real estate that generates 8% cash flow, okay, if you want to have, again, your $5,000 a month, you multiply that by 150. You only need one Pellegrino bottle. That's $750,000 to live off of $5,000 a month. That's a lot easier to get to than the alternative of $1.5 million. You get there twice as fast. Okay. Now, if you have the $1.5 million, well, instead of $5,000 a month, you're living off $10,000 a month. Okay. It's just that simple. You can get twice as far using real estate than you can with stocks and bonds. 8% is a very achievable number on average over time. Okay. But if you don't want to use real estate, that's fine. Just use stocks and bonds. You're going to need to have 300 times your monthly income in investments or monthly spending in investments instead of 150x. Okay. If you made it all the way up here to $3 million, well, $3 million will get you basically $20,000 a month in spending. Okay, so you can get yourself a very, very nice lifestyle if you have $3 million of real estate. Okay, so there you go. There you have it. The 4% rule, the 3% rule, and the real estate 8% rule. Or as I like to think about it, the 300x rule, the 400x rule, or the 150x rule. And that's it for today, everybody. Take us home, Pinky.
Hey, let's get moving.
Until next time, think about how are we going to have your money work for you so you don't have to work for your money.